Hey guys, this is my second take of this video. I haven't been doing short videos lately. I want to get back into it. And I promised people I would do this video about Tiina Wiik. And in case you haven't heard, Tiina Wiik, who was a co-host of mine for years on Happy Homelands, and more than that, she was a friend. She passed away, I think in May, and I think it was May 25th. And this is kind of where it gets strange. The whole details or circumstances of her death, I'm not really privy to. Tiina and I, we kept in contact, and we had some issues, but we ended up, again, being really good friends. In fact, just earlier last year, she wrote me, she said, you know, we should get the band together again and do Happy Homelands together. And I'm like, that would be so much fun. We should do that again, just start it up again or whatever. But it just never happened. I wrote her back and she didn't respond to me, and I know she was focused on Finnish politics. Her and her husband Eunice, they had a Finnish live stream, so that kind of made sense. That was kind of her bailiwick, Finland, and so I kind of forgot about it, and then I happened to hear this. When I first heard the news, the rumor, I thought, well, this is probably fake. She's only 37 years old. Probably what it is for whatever reason, she got upset and she left the internet. Sometimes people do. It's not a bad thing. You know, you get tired of it all and you just walk away for a week or two and you don't post anywhere. And then people, you know how people are in the internet, they can gossip, and someone might have asked, well, where's Tiina? I don't see her posting anymore. And someone else could have said, I don't know, maybe she died. And then someone sees that, and then they tell someone else, hey, did you hear someone is saying that Tiina died? And I was hoping it was that, you know, one of those telephone games where it just gets out of control. And so, and another reason I didn't think she died, because I didn't see any notice of it. She's married to Eunice Laka, and I checked his Twitter, and he said nothing about it. And to me, that seems strange. If someone that you're married to should die, at least in America, you would immediately announce it. I mean, you may want to keep some details private, and you may not want to discuss it because it's painful. I get it. But especially someone that you stream with every day, it seems like you would put out an announcement. Oh my God, I'm with a heavy heart, I have to announce that my dear wife, Tiina, passed away the other day. I'm going to step away for a while with a heavy heart, something like that. I get that, but Eunice didn't do that. He just kind of continued on as normal. So I was thinking, well, this is odd. I doubt she died. Maybe they got into a fight or something, and they're just kind of went their separate ways for a bit to cool off. That kind of happens. And I figure it's none of my business. But then the rumors persisted, so I thought, well, I'll ask Eunice. He follows me on Twitter. So a couple days ago, I just asked him. I said, is Tiina okay? And a day later, he replied, not really. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? Not really? And then I said, well, you know, guy, there's rumors out that she's dead. You know, and he said, well, who's told you this rumor? And I don't know. I said, I don't know. Some guy wrote me. And then Eunice said, well, don't say anything. I'm going to make an announcement later this week. And then our conversation, he immediately turned to politics because I guess he's got some hate crime charges because of his speech. And we talked about that. I mean, it really sucks. But I kind of left that conversation. I still didn't think she was dead because he didn't really talk about it. And he immediately started to talk about politics. And so I thought, maybe they got into a spat and, you know, they're broken up, but maybe they're getting back together. I didn't know, right? So I just wanted to make sure she was okay, but I was still confused. And then I saw the official story that came out when he retweeted it, Eunice. He didn't really comment on it. He just retweeted a story that Tiina Wiik, who's now, she changed her name to Loka, that's his last name, had passed away on May 25th. At least that's what it said in the story. And I was shocked because she's only 37 years old. I thought for sure I would die years before her, and I was thinking, I wonder if she'll remember me when she gets older. And so I couldn't believe it. And I've received a lot of questions from people like, why did she die? Why did she die, Ramsey Paul? And the honest answer is, I don't know. I don't know what she died of for sure. I did some investigation. I don't think she had a disease like cancer or anything like that. But she wrote in her own blog that she has struggled with health issues her whole life. She's had some heart problems, some autoimmune problems, and she had like arthritis even at that young age, where even sitting could be painful. So she really struggled with a lot of health issues. And she said she was surprised she was still alive. She thought always she would die young. And then she wrote, and I don't care if I get in trouble on YouTube with this, but she took the vaccine and she was skeptical of it. Her husband, Eunice, didn't want her to take it, but she wanted to go to Estonia and they had a travel restriction. You needed the vax. So she thought, well, it probably won't hurt. So she took it. And then she got a booster, and she wrote about how she really regretted it. She got really, really sick. Her heart started to palpate. She felt like she was dying. She had a horrible reaction to it, and I think she regretted it, but she did it because she wanted to travel. And so that's kind of the background. And then again, in May of this year, I believe she died. I think she died suddenly, but I don't know if anything, if it's related or not. I can't say that because sometimes people do die young. One of my good friends when I was a kid, I went to high school with, named David Pearl. He died when he was 22. He had a genetic, I think, heart defect, and he was on the phone one day talking to someone, boom, just dropped dead. It happens. This all happened before COVID, so with her prior health conditions, maybe that had to do it. I don't know, and I don't think I'll ever know. I think Eunice, I like Eunice, but he's a very private man, and I was closer to Tiina than Eunice, and I don't think Eunice is the type that's going to discuss the matter much, really, and it's really not my business, or probably not anyone else's business. So, and it really doesn't matter. It's just a real shame that she's gone. And there's some things I regret, because I always thought we would get together again and do some show together, maybe a reunion. I thought I had in my fantasy one day should have a special Happy Homelands with Tiina on, all my co-hosts, Tiina, Styx, and Sasha. And that'd be great, kind of just have a special reunion episode, because I love them all. They were all great co-hosts. And so it was, but that never came to be because Tiina is gone now. A little background how I met Tiina. I was at a conference in Sweden. I was invited to speak, and this couple came over, this cute girl with red hair and this her boyfriend, I didn't know at the time, taller guy with a beard. And they said they were from Finland, and would I go on a stream with them right then, kind of a live interview with their audience, because they stream nationalism in Finland. And I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. So I did that briefly. They were excited, and I met her. That was Tiina. And we kept in contact. And at that point, I wasn't streaming, but streaming was starting to get bigger. And I thought, it'd be really cool. I should do a stream, but I want to do it with someone else, and it'd be fun to do it with someone in Europe, because they could give like the European perspective and I could give the American perspective. And another reason, we were different sexes, male and female, and I was older, she was young. And to be honest, when you're doing videos, if you have a pretty young girl, it kind of helps with some of the audience. Plus it breaks down the stereotypes. People always saw like conservatives or right-wingers as being these old angry men, and here she is, a young, attractive woman, very articulate, intelligent. So I thought it came together very well. I asked her, she said she would love to do it. We did it. In the first episode, we had a lot of glitches, but we had a lot of fun. We really had a lot of fun doing Happy Homelands. And I met her a couple times. I went back. She created a conference, The Awakening. She invited me to speak. If you go on her Gab account, she still has the image of us there. I think that was one of her proudest moments. I went with her and Eunice, and we ate reindeer together in a restaurant up there. We really had a great time, and I've met her a couple times, and it's like I always knew her. We really connected well, and she was like a really, really good friend. So that was kind of how we started. Now, a lot of people are wondering what happened. Why did we stop the show together? And I'm going to tell you the truth. I kind of regret this. it was one of those situations when COVID started, we had a different opinion. A lot of people were really scared. They thought it was going to be the Black Death and everything needed to be shut down. And my position was, well, I'm not seeing that in the data, and lockdowns, they could create more problems than they could help, and especially if it's not a true lockdown, because it was never a true lockdown. They shut down restaurants and all the businesses, but people still got together in stores and whatever. So my attitude, well, what good is that? And I don't see how this is going to, I mean, we got to do a cost benefit analysis, and I don't think this is going to be worth it. Turns out I was right. But at the time, Tiina was really, really scared of COVID. And we really kind of went back and forth, which I didn't mind, because usually in all our broadcasts, we always agreed. And so this time we had some debate, and I'm like, oh, this is a good stream. It's good for the audience. It's back and forth. But it got kind of heated, and I didn't mind her disagreeing with me, and hopefully she didn't mind me disagreeing with her. It was just on this subject. But then what happened, a lot of people, they started saying, I hate old people. I wanted a grandma to die. And then someone did a tweet that, oh, I hope Ramsey Paul licks the toilet, gets COVID and died. And Tiina liked that tweet. And I didn't see that tweet. Someone else saw it and sent it to me. And it pissed me off. It kind of hurt me that, well, wait a minute, you're wishing death on me because I have a different opinion. And at the time, I was like, okay, well, screw this. I don't want to stream then. You can stream on your own. And so I told her we're not going to stream anymore. And a week later, and a lot of people think this was the reason, but this is honestly the truth, Sticks, out of the blue, contacted me, and he said he wanted to get into streaming, and he always wanted to stream with me. Would it be okay if he came on my show? And I said, well, this is weird timing, but Tiina and I had just split doing Happy Homelands together. And so, hey, you want to be my co-host? And he said, yeah, sure. So for a while, he was the co-host of my show until eventually he left because of the time considerations. And I think he wanted to do his own thing, which is fine. And then later I got Sasha as my co-host. But that was a progression. But then as time went on, Tiina and I, we resolved it. There was no hard feelings between us. We were talking, we were sending emails to each other occasionally. And like I said, she said, hey, we should do a get-together session again, do another Happy Homelands. And I'm like, yeah, we really should. And I had no animosity towards her. She didn't have any towards me. We kind of really repaired our friendship. So that was that whole story. And it's sad we never got together and do that. I thought we had time in the future that would happen one day. But we were focused on different things. And then I hear she's died, so it's really sad. Now, what do I think Tiina's legacy is? I don't want to overemphasize or exaggerate, but I think in the 21st century, she was Finland's probably most important nationalist internationally known nationalist. Katie Hopkins knew her and went to interview Tiina because Tiina really brought the whole migrant crisis and what was happening in her city with the migrants and the crime. She brought the city council, remember they did that, stop, don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. So, these migrants are trying to sexually molest Finnish girls. Instead of actually punishing them and deporting them or arresting them, they're teaching the girls to say this, no, don't touch me, this is my no-no square. Like these people are stupid, they don't know it's wrong to sexually assault a girl. So she brought that up. That went international. I mean, that no square. It really, that video went viral, and it embarrassed the politicians of Finland. And Tiina's the one that broke that. Tiina really was aggressive explaining the whole migrant situation. And she had a voice to really get that out. And as I said, she organized the conference, Awakening. I think she had a couple of conferences. And organizing a conference is not easy, and she was a leader of doing that. She had a lot of drive, she had a lot of passion, and she put that together, and she was a hard worker, and I was really impressed. And then, of course, she was with Happy Homelands, and she was an articulate spokeswoman for her country, Finland. They have a very difficult language. They're kind of isolated. So she, on my show, was able to get that perspective out to the rest of the world. And she really was beloved within like our community. Most people liked her that knew her. And she very, like I said, she was always seemed to me young, attractive, little short girl. There's a picture of us together. We took a selfie. I'm like way above her. But she was full of energy and life. So I will definitely miss her. But she left a legacy. Even though she didn't live a long time, I think she made a difference for her country, Finland, that will continue on. Her videos are still out there. Her tireless work she did for the Finnish nation. And I think we owe her a debt of gratitude for that. And I'm happy I was just able to know her and collaborate with her. And I will definitely miss her. When I went to Finland, there's always things in life that you will always remember for the rest of your life. Sadly, sometimes it's bad things. When you have a bad experience, there's some bad experiences I'll never forget. Like when I was at college, one of my girlfriends was hit by the car, and I saw her in the hospital and she died. I will never forget that. So that's like a bad thing. But a good thing is my trip to Finland, meeting Tiina and Eunice, and just having that fellowship with those people. That is a memory I'll never forget. It always makes me happy. And I hope to, again, go back to Finland one day. So my condolences to Eunice. I know he's a very private man, so I'm not going to pester him for details or anything like that. I think it's best to respect the whole situation. And my condolences to her family. I think she was still close to her mother, if I remember. Her mother's still living. And it's a sad situation, but during her brief time here on Earth, I think she really made a difference. And I definitely will miss her. I'll never forget her. Every year I'll be thinking of her about something. Whenever I think of Finland, I'm going to think of Tiina. And so kind of my thoughts on that. I probably won't do any more videos about Tiina, but I collaborated with her so long. And it's not like we were talking with each other every day, but we did the show, every week, and we would, prep for the show. And she will be missed. Talk to you guys later.